Welcome to Unit 5, Chapter 2, Excel, Part 2. Essential Outcomes. In this chapter, you will use open and closed software to create and format professional business documents and spreadsheets. You will also utilize built-in functions and write formulas for business computation in spreadsheet software, as well as articulate and utilize computer and software terminology. Business terminology. A business either sells a product such as Pepsi, hamburgers, dresses, shirts, or a service, lawyer, doctor, accountant, or a combination of both. Retail price is the price that a consumer pays in order to purchase a product or service. For example, you go into the store and you buy a hamburger. You will pay retail price for that product. Cost is the initial purchase price a business pays for the item before reselling the item to the customer. In other words, what does it cost the business to get that item in the store so they can resell it? Markup is the difference between the initial cost of an item and the retail price. Revenue is the money earned from the sale of a product, service, or a combination of both. Expenses are the cost of running a business, such as initial costs, salaries, utilities, rent, etc. Profit is earned when revenue is larger than expenses. Loss is earned when expenses are larger than revenue. Break even is when revenue equals expenses. Markup is the increase on the original cost of a product that it will be resold. Example, Tom Harmer Sporting Goods sells Nike and Adidas tennis shoes. In order to get the shoes, Tom Harmer's must purchase them from a manufacturing company, which is a business that sells products to other companies to resell. The purchase price for Tom Harmer's is considered a cost or an expense to the business. Once the shoes are delivered to Tom Harmer's store from the manufacturing company, Tom Harmer stocks his shoes on shelves for sale to their customers. However, before stocking the shelves, Tom Harmer's must decide on what price they will sell these shoes for. Setting the retail price for shoes takes great consideration. You might assume that if Tom Harmer's purchased the shoes for $50 a box and they sold the shoes for $50 a box to their customers, Tom Harmer's would break even. However, if Tom Harmer sells the shoes for the same price they paid the vendor or the manufacturing company, Tom Harmer's will lose money. Why? The reason Tom Harmer's will lose money is because there are a lot of expenses that the company must account for in order to sell their shoes to customers. For example, some of the costs that Tom Harmer's will have to pay are employee wages and benefits, utilities such as lighting, heat and air, and water, insurance to protect against fire, property, etc., etc., office supplies, computers. They have to pay sales tax to the state. These are just a few of the costs that Tom Harmer has to pay for running their business. In order for Tom Harmer's to make a profit, they must add a certain percentage onto the cost of each box of shoes. Determining the markup percent takes careful analysis. If they want to make a profit, they have to cover the cost of running their business, which is their expenses, plus the profit they want to make. There are two general ways to determine the markup of a product: cost markup, retail markup. Cost markup is markup that is determined by the cost of a product. Retail markup is the markup that is determined by the retail price of a product. Note there are industry standards that set an estimation for businesses to help them with markup of products. Determining the cost markup percent. Each box of shoes costs the business $27.99. The suggested selling or retail price is $93.99. To determine the cost markup percent for each box of shoes, 1. Find the difference between the retail price and the cost. 2. Then divide the difference by the cost per box. Multiply the results by 100%. Determining retail markup percent. Each box of shoes costs the business $27.99. The suggested selling price or retail price is $93.99 a box. To determine the retail markup percent for each box of shoes, 1. Subtract the cost from the selling price or retail price. Divide the difference by retail price per box. Multiply the difference by 100%. Determining dollar cost. To find the dollar cost per box, multiply the unit cost by the cost markup percent. Add the unit cost. Determining retail dollar cost. To find the retail dollar cost per box, divide the unit cost by the difference between 100% and the retail markup percent. Analyzing the markup. Note, in our free market enterprise system, a business has to pay close attention to competitive pricing by other businesses selling the same or similar products. Thus, businesses create a budget, a long and short term, to help them reach their desired profit goals. Successful businesses create both a short-term and long-term budget. Budget is the estimation of the revenue and expenses for the month. A budget analysis is completed at the end of each month to determine if a business is on target to reach its desired profit goal. Short-term budgets cover up to 5 years. Long-term budgets cover 5 or more years. It is said that a business is under budget when more money was earned than spent. A business is over budget when more money was spent than earned. The image on the right displays a basic expense budget. The budget is based on expense dollar amounts rather than on percentages. The budget column represents expenses expected to be incurred for the month of June. The actual amount column is the amount of expenses actually incurred for the month. The entire budget is now completed for June. The month for June is over budgeted by 2% or $2.91. Businesses normally do not want to be over budget. By looking at this expense budget in red, you should see the amounts in the difference column that were over budgeted. Why was this business over budget? Businesses do not normally work to lose money. They want to earn money, to earn a profit. If over budgeted, the owner must do an analysis and put into action a plan that will allow the business to earn money. The business cannot keep operating over budget, otherwise they will go out of business. They have a couple of choices. They can cut expenses, which might mean layoffs for employees, or looking at ways that they can reduce other costs or expenses. Secondly, they might have to increase their revenue, such as raising product or service prices. Possible effects of businesses being over budget. When businesses lay off employees, employees do not have jobs. Thus, the employee has less money to spend, so they stop spending money. Businesses have less customers, which might result in raising prices, and the spiral will continue. When businesses raise prices, the buying power for customers decreases, meaning customers spend more money on needed products and less on luxury items. Businesses, since more money is being spent on needed products, business sell less. Looking at the difference column, you will see that we had to write a formula starting with the equal sign to determine the amount that was different between the budgeted amount and the actual amount. So notice we subtracted the budget amount and the actual amount, or we subtracted the actual amount from the budgeted amount. Remember to always put amounts that are negative in red. Congratulations, you have just finished part 2. Download class activity 2.2 from the class website and save it to inside your chapter 2 folder. Calculate the sum, minimum, maximum, and average for B11 through C14. In C11 through D11, add a double underline. In D6, find the difference between the budgeted and the actual amount spent. Any amount in column D that is negative, add a red font color to the dollar values. Add a pie chart with only percentages for column 1 and or column A and column D. First, select A5 through A10, hold the control key down, and then select D5 through D10. Once the chart is inserted, click on the cross to the top, right-click on the chart, and select the plus sign. Select Data Labels, then select the black arrow and go to the More options. Make sure that the percentage is the only box checked. Add a chart title called Budget Percent Difference. Add a chart tool design of your choosing. In D6 through D10, add conditional formatting of your choosing. Why are some numbers in red? Call your teacher over to review the exercise. Note, make sure your formulas are displayed. You are now done with Activity 2-2. Go back to the class website, download Activity 2-3. Save it inside your Chapter 2 Excel folder. Look at the bottom left side of the spreadsheet. Make sure you are in Sheet 1. Rename Sheet 1 to Investments and add a tab color to the Sheet tab. In E17 through G17, find the total for the columns. In H5, find the price percent of each stock. Hint, divide each stock by the month's total. The total is an absolute cell reference. Copy the formula using the fill handle from H5 through H17. H17 should be 100% if you have done the formula correctly. In I5, find the price total percent of each stock. Divide each stock by the month's total. The total is an absolute cell reference. Copy the formula in I5 using the fill handle down through I17. I17 should be 100% if you have done the formula correctly. Remember to change the cells to a percent. In J5, find the price percent of each stock. Divide each stock by the month's total. The total is an absolute cell reference. Copy the formula in J5 using the fill handle through J17. J17 should be 100% if you have done the formula correctly. Change the cells to percentages. In H5 through J16, add conditional formatting of your choosing. In K5, add column sparklines. Use the fill handle to copy the sparkline down the column through K16. Change the color of the sparkline to the color of your choosing and mark the highest point in the sparkline to blue. Go to Sheet 1 at the bottom of the page. Change the sheet name to Subrosa and add a tab color. In D3, find the total cost for each menu item. Multiply the unit price times the quantity. In column D, add the accounting numeric numbers to the dollar amounts. Insert a pie chart that will display the menu items and the total cost. Make sure only percentages are displayed in the chart. Add a chart title called Menu Total Cost Percentages. Add Chart Layout 6 to the chart. Click on the chart, go to Chart Tools Design. On the left side, look for Quick Layout icon and select Chart 6. Class Activity 2-3, Sheet 3. Go to Sheet 3 at the bottom of the page. Change the sheet name to Markup and add a tab color. In the worksheet, you will see a unit price column and a retail price column. To calculate cost markup, in D2, calculate the cost markup percent. Step 4, retail selling markup. In E2, calculate the retail markup percent. To determine the cost dollar price, in F2, calculate the dollar cost for each box. Use the fill handle to copy the formula down column F. In G2, calculate the retail dollar price. Use the fill handle to copy the formula down column G. Display your formulas on all of your worksheets. Save your workbook. Call your teacher over to review your work. Congratulations, you have finished all of the PowerPoints for Chapter 2. Please return to the class website to see what your next activity is.